Hey everyone, I'm Mind, and this is set number 71472, Izzie's Narwhal hot air balloon from the LEGO Dreamzzz theme. This set contains 156 pieces, one full-size minifigure as well as one small figure, and it will retail for $15.99 in the US when it officially releases on January 1st, 2024. This set was gifted to me for review by the LEGO group through the LEGO Ambassador Network, but all opinions expressed in this video are my own. Now, this is a LEGO Dreamzzz set, and as with all LEGO Dreamzzz sets, it's a 2-in-1, it has an alternate build. I will be covering both builds in this video, so make sure to watch the video all the way through if you want to see both. Also, make sure to leave a like on this video and subscribe to my channel. I'm doing a bunch of early reviews right now, including more LEGO Dreamzzz sets, and I'm getting super close to 100,000 subscribers, which would be an amazing milestone to reach. So thank you all very much for your support, and now let's get into the video. So here's the build of this set, the Narwhal hot air balloon, and this thing is absolutely adorable. The idea behind it is inherently just very silly. It's like a full-size narwhal on top of this hot air balloon basket, but this is exactly what LEGO Dreamzzz should be in my opinion, and I can't believe this set is only $16. That's an amazing price for this. All that being said, there's not a ton that's like secret here. It's a lot of just what you see is what you get, so you saw the full 360 spin in the intro, but I'll take you through, I guess, every little bit of the build that's here. We've of course got the basket at the bottom, and that's got studs inside for a minifigure to stand. So there's how Izzie looks actually riding in the hot air balloon. There's a little telescope on the side, some golden railing pieces around the back, which is a nice touch, and these ball pieces in bright orange and magenta I assume just to be like counterweights. But obviously the most exciting part about this set is the giant narwhal on the top. They use like that newer leaf piece to be fins, and that works perfectly. It's used on each side as well as on the tail. The eyes on the narwhal are a printed piece, which that's nice to see. It's not a sticker, and I believe they are new and exclusive for this set. There's a little bit of articulation with the horn at the top. You can move it forward, move it back, and the tail in the end can move up and down too. Probably the most interesting part about the build is the entire narwhal's mouth can open up, and you can see there's actually a little bit of room inside, and that's like almost the perfect size to fit one of the LEGO Dreamzzz tiny figures. You can see like the hairpiece sticks out the top, but you can still close this up around it. So if you want to have the narwhal like eat the enemies, that's an option you have, which is a ton of fun. I know I would have loved that as a kid. That's always a great feature. Alternatively, I guess you could use this area as storage for the Bunchu figure, close that up around it, but of course it's entirely up to you what you do. That does add an extra dimension to this build, which I appreciate. Gives you a little bit more to play with. The entire narwhal is also made to be easily detachable. It just connects on 4 studs. So if you want to have just this on its own, you can. And there's how the basket looks with the narwhal removed. I will say with the narwhal on top, this build is very top heavy, which is unsurprising given how big that is. But it is something to be aware of if you're planning on playing with this, because the narwhal build is so big, if you topple it over, it's very easy to fall. That doesn't hurt the set too much in my opinion. Like, it's still very fun to play with, but it's something to be aware of. And I think that's about all I have to say for the main build of this set. It is very small. So we'll move on and take a look at the minifigures in just a moment. First though, let's take a look at the instructions and then rebuild this into its alternate build. As with all LEGO Dreamzzz sets, the cover of the instructions is fully illustrated, which is absolutely adorable. And while it's a 2-in-1 build, it's not the entire thing that rebuilds, it's just a part of the set. So in this case, the narwhal stays together, but you can either have it like being a hot air balloon or pulling a carriage. So that's what I'll be doing next, it's rebuilding it into the carriage form. Here's the full illustration of the hot air balloon form though. Very, very pretty. And this is the full illustration of the carriage form, where it actually looks to be swimming in lava. Very wacky. But anyway, let me take this apart and put it back together. Here's the alternate build I'll put together, and of course it's not a huge difference, because as I mentioned, the narwhal stays exactly the same. The only difference is this basket out the back. I will say I like this connection system. I think it works well. You can see the reins of the chariot connect to the same part of the whale that the tail attaches to, so they're all able to be hinged at the same place. But that of course just leads back to this basket. It's got like these gold tendrils coming off, and then we have oars on each side using that bright orange and pink ball, which that's a fun touch too. The telescope's still here as well. It's on top of one of the oars, and I've got Izzie sitting in the basket right now, but of course I can remove her. And there's how it looks without her. So nice alternate option, not a huge difference, so it's up to you which one you prefer. This one obviously doesn't have issues with being top heavy because there is no top to be heavy, so this one might have less issues if you're trying to play with it, but it really just comes down to what you prefer. I don't have a really strong opinion one way or the other. And finally, here are the 2 figures in this set. We have Izzie, and then we just have a generic Grimspawn. Izzie is the same figure from the first wave, so I've talked about her quite a few times before. That being said, she is an amazing minifigure. I love her hairpiece that's molded in 2 like different translucent colors. There's like a pink and a blue, and they're both very sparkly. And the design of her torso and legs is amazing too. Her torso feels somewhat ninjago-esque to me, and I love the dual molded legs with like the sneakers on and everything. And then her sword piece is an amazing accessory as well. Unfortunately, this is the incomplete version of Izzie. She does not have her waist cape in this set. That would have been nice to see, but I suppose it's not a huge deal that she doesn't have it, especially because this is such a cheap set. But yeah, really nice figure all around. Happy to have another way to get her. Happy to have another cheap way to get her, even if she isn't complete. And I love that alternate face. Just so much personality in it. And then the Grimspawn is just a generic Grimspawn. I don't have a ton to say about it. I do like getting the trans pink wing pieces here because that's a great recolor. Again, that was in lots of sets in the first wave, but I believe this is the cheapest set that they've come in so far, so it could be worth getting this set for them. Another interesting part is the accessory on this guy. He has like this claw, but it's actually a LEGO carrot piece in lavender. I don't know if I've seen that part in that color before. Part of me thinks it's maybe from like LEGO Botanical. That just feels like the kind of part that would be in a botanical set, but I'm not positive on that. regardless, it's got a claw at the end, and that's so we can grab onto Bunchu and steal it. Speaking of, yes, the stuffed animal Bunchu does come in this set. I believe this is the 4th set that it comes in. Comes in a poly bag as well as 2 full-size sets from the first wave. So not the rarest, but also not the most common. So if you don't have it yet, I suppose that's nice to get here. For a $16 set, this is a perfectly fine minifigure selection. Nothing too crazy going on, but Izzie's an amazing minifigure, and a Grimspawn's just nice to add to your army. I'm fairly happy with these. But what are my thoughts on this set overall? It's really good, honestly. I like the set a lot. It's a very cute concept and a very silly idea, but it's executed super well. I think it's a fun toy for kids and also just a really unique thing to have in your collection. So obviously this aesthetic and everything's not going to be for everybody, but if this is the kind of set that interests you, I do recommend it. It's such a cute build and it's so well done. I honestly had a lot of fun with it. But of course, those are just my thoughts. Let me know what you guys think of this set in the comments below. As I mentioned at the beginning of this video, make sure to leave a like, subscribe to my channel if you're new, and let me know in the comments which LEGO Dreamzzz set you want to see an early review on next. And I think that's all I have for this one. Thanks for watching, everybody. I hope you all enjoyed, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.